Jones back in his old haunts.
Yeah. What is good, world? Welcome back to another edition of the Bet Champ Show After Hours edition. It is this fine Monday, the Monday after the Super Bowl, and the fellas are in here rocking and rolling. We got my man over to the left. We got the Soch man in the house. Soch, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, shoot, we ended off the NFL season. The postseason, we went nuts. What did I think we said? We went 22-9. So, I mean, that was killer with all of our props. And then we ended yesterday going 6-3. No, it was just a good day overall. A good way to end it. Get a look at some futures for next year. Kind of go over, what we saw in the game and what we think, what may happen with a lot of these teams in the free agency market. But no, I feel good today, so ready to dive into it.
100%. And of course, as we always have, the money man himself, Big E in the building. E, how you feeling on this fine Monday?
Man, feeling outstanding. Back what you guys said. We had a great weekend, great Super Bowl. Now let's roll over into the NBA. Yesterday's in the rearview mirror. We can't. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. So let's keep pressing.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking great. I'm looking to move forward to NBA. I know that's a lot of our specialties here and whatnot. For all the live listeners right now and viewers, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and X right now. You could find us on Instagram and TikTok at The Bet Champ Show. Again, we're giving out free plays to you guys each and every day. Let us know what you'd like to see in the comments or any plays you're currently on. The boys would love to give a rundown with you, as well as you can find us on X at Bet Champ Show for all updates and what is going on in this sports world. But yeah, kind of what he said, NFL season's over now. It's time to kind of move forward with it. We got the NBA. We've been rocking hard every Monday through Friday at the 6:30 a.m. slot, Mountain Standard Time, where Sacha and myself give out free NBA picks every day. The early line show. Absolutely. And we will keep doing that. Now we got E and Wit whenever we can see him again in a mix. We're going to get those NBA picks coming your way. But let's kind of do a quick recap. What we saw, we had the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. San Fran 22, Kansas City 25, an OT Super Bowl. It was great. What we kind of expect. What did we see there? What did we like with the Super Bowl? All things that. Just a recap with the fellas here. How'd you feel, Sach, man?
I mean, I would say it was a pretty damn good game overall. Started off, slow. A bunch of uncharacteristic turnovers by both teams. Obviously, McCaffrey with the fumble, Pacheco with the fumble, Mahomes threw a pick. So, I mean, from a 49ers standpoint, you couldn't really complain how the game went. I would just say that I think they kind of got out of, you can't have Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, they combined for, I think, around 80 yards, and that's just probably not the recipe for them to win it all. But, I mean, the script kind of went, how we would think. McCaffrey ended up with eight catches, 22 carries, so that's 30 touches overall. But it's just something with Mike Shanahan in these Super Bowls, man. I think he had a 10-digit lead in all three of them that he's been coaching in. And, he just hasn't been able to get it done. So I don't know. It might be just the 49er curse right now. But, yeah, I don't really know what the move is looking forward. I mean, this is probably one of the most loaded teams I think that I can honestly remember when it comes to, obviously all-star players, all-pro players. It was just perfect for the Niners to win it. This was their year. So I don't know how they're going to go moving forward. But, I mean, I think we all can just agree it just don't matter how bad the Chiefs look during the regular season, whatever seed they are. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, they're just different. Whenever it's the postseason, they just turn it up somehow. And we were saying it even before, this was their worst. This was their worst team that I would sorry, we have a bunch of
what are you doing, Joe?
This was probably the scary thing that I would say for the NFL is this was the Chiefs' down year out of all of the Super Bowls I think that they've won.
Correct.
If you would have told when they made that Tyreek Hill trade 2 years ago and you look at their receiving core now, And for them to win back-to-back Super Bowls after getting rid of arguably the best receiver in football, that's a scary thing. That's a scary thing for the NFL because they're going to re-up. They're going to have wide receivers go over there in the free agency market, I would imagine. So I'm just curious to see what you guys think about it.
Yeah, well, I guess one of the things that I'll say I'll half agree with what you were saying as far as the team. I think offensively, this is probably the worst offense, right?
Yeah.
Offense
Defense was nice. Yeah.
Defense is stellar, and they're handling their business. They kept them in the game with Baltimore, and they kept them in this game, right? I mean, I get it. He's like the starting pitcher, so Mahomes gets the win, he gets the loss, but that defense, gosh, you think about McDuffie that first quarter, swatting at the touchdown out of Debo, all that. The defense showed up, and then Mahomes did Mahomes stuff. I say it all the time at work and where I can is, all this Trevor Lawrence crap and the kid from Williams out of UFC. Generational talent is Patrick Mahomes. That's a generational quarterback. That's a once-in-20-year quarterback. Forget all these other tags that you're getting there. And I think as long as you have him, you're going to be okay, right? Look, they got Pacheco out the 6th round out of Rutgers. Andy Reid will do. Andy Reid got Mahomes out of Texas Tech. Trade up. Mahomes wasn't with the Patrick Mahomes today wasn't coming out into the draft rated where he is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes. He was known. He was known to be a work in progress. So Andy Reid, he's gonna get the tools. As long as he stays, he'll get the tools in there, and they're. You're right. It's scary offensively, and that defense, if they can keep it. Jones is a free agent, a couple other guys out there, but man, I felt like Shanahan just gave the game away. Man, I get it.
There's questionable calls for sure. Questionable play calling, I would say.
You're up, and you get the ball second half. Football tradition, football 101 says run the ball, run the clock, keep Mahomes off the field. They go three passes, 3 and out, punt. Next possession, 3 and out, punt with passing. A lot can happen because the game plan changes, right? But just theoretically, you could have ran minutes off the clock running that ball. And McCaffrey was getting 5-6 yards a carry. Mahomes never would have had that time. Yeah, they never would have had the time on the clock to get to overtime if he would have just did that. And I know we're playing armchair quarterback, but I'm sure I'm not the only guy that was sitting there in that third quarter like, man, McCaffrey's not touching the ball. Why is he throwing? I just think sometimes Shanahan tries to outsmart to prove he's the smartest in the room. You know what I mean?
He got a little Dan Campbell in him, a little out. You out-coach yourself, and it just backfires. So. Like you said, the more times if you're going 3 and out, you got to find a rhythm somehow. If you're just going 3 and out, because the more times that Mahomes is touching the ball, the easier it is going to be for the Chiefs to come back. Yeah. I mean, you're up by 10, and if Juan Jennings is going to be your best receiver on the field, that's a problem. I mean, there was just no, and I mean, credit to the Chiefs, they've had a good defense, but I mean. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan, if you're going to be that coach, you got to figure out ways to get these guys touches. I mean, George Kittle was non-existent, and I know he had a bad game, but you can't have a first-team All-Pro tight end, second-team All-Pro tight end end up with 4 yards. There's just no way. There's just no way.
And, we talked last week, and I think this also solidified the I think you have Bill Belichick, and then you have Andy Reid. You know what I mean? And by that, I'll talk about preparation. The stories coming out today, Juszczyk, Armstead. Hey, we didn't even know the rules of this overtime. We learned it. Hey, but why would they lie about it, right? But then what you did? My point was, though, you talked to the you talked to the Chief players, and they said they were practicing this shit in preseason. Like they all knew what was going on.
What you're saying, yeah. I don't deny them not knowing the rules, but I don't deny them not knowing the rules. So that's just probably something
the level that Andy Reid's on. Yeah, exactly. but he's that guy. He's checking all the blocks. Hey, if we ever make it back, we go to overtime, we're gonna know what we're doing, and we're gonna have the ball. We're gonna go for 2. Wow, okay. These Niners were out there like, yeah, we'll get the ball. What are you doing? And holding, defensive holding, or else they would have been punting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, in that situation, like with overtime, I don't know how you would kind of want to do it with since even if they got a touchdown, they would still Chiefs get the ball. I don't know if you kind of play like a different strategy and you maybe kick it off first because you're going to get it back, and then you kind of only give them 3 plays. Because then, I mean, once they kick the field goal, the Chiefs were in 4 plays. That's one more play that they get to use every single time. So I kind of think that the Niners maybe should have kicked it off. I mean, in hindsight,
exactly what he should have.
It's easier to say, but
that's why
you got to prepare for stuff like that. And
that's why they're probably. I haven't watched many of the sports channels today, but they're probably replaying that during the game when they said they'll receive. Patrick Mahomes told Andy Reid, he's like, they're receiving? Like, he couldn't believe that they're taking the ball. What? They're doing what? Okay, let's. So I think that's something I learned. Andy Reid is going to be prepared. That team will be prepared. And they left too many chances, just like Baltimore, for Patrick Mahomes to come in and do what he does. The guy's generational talent, and he's going to continue to do this stuff. They had chances to close the door, and they didn't. You left that shit open, and Pat, he came right in. Right down the field, 6 seconds. We got this. So, yeah. But a good game. I thought it was the beginning was slow a little bit, but, I mean, you have nerves. You got scripted plays. But, man, imagine we get every Super Bowl to go to overtime.
Oh, yeah. It was nuts. To go back to kind of how it ended and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, coming out of the second half, right? Patrick Mahomes throws that big interception, right? Niners get it back with great field position. And they choose to not run the ball with CMC one time in that drive, give it up, right? So no points out of that turnover at all, which was huge. And simply to kind of what you guys are saying, Kyle Shanahan really just got out-coached in the second half. Andy Reid knew what he was doing. They got away with what they were doing kind of in that first half. I mean, in the first half, it was a low-scoring game, but, man, besides the Niners looked like they were moving the ball pretty dang good. Like they could get it down the field doing kind of whatever they want. But, yeah, in that second half, they just weren't doing what got them there in that first half. And you could really show, which coach really knew what he was doing there in the end. And then to go into that OT and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, you got to know when you want the ball because you could have had 4 possessions with it, 4 downs. Whether you choose to, just defend at first and whatnot, but no, they elected to receive it and whatnot, and that just screwed the whole thing up. And the moment they kicked that field goal, when Sach and I were watching it together, we had already known, you're leaving now the last play with Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback in the NFL right now, and that's what you get when you do stuff like that. You can't afford to do stuff like that. You have to know where you're at with the ball, and yeah, so we're looking at, right, obviously Chiefs get it. Brock Purdy, 25 of 38, 255 yards. And then you go over to Patrick Mahomes, 35 of 46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Through that 1 interception, I think he had like 60-some yards rushing as well for him at the quarterback position. Kind of what did we see there with the 2 quarterbacks going on? I thought Brock Purdy had a good game, right? I think bad and whatnot. It was just really that second half really just defined these 49ers just flat, not capitalizing when you have the lead. I mean, you have to score on the Chiefs. You can't let them just hang around.
As far as the quarterbacks, I think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, right? So but I think this was really Brock Purdy's coming out party. All the talk about, hey, game manager, he can't do this and that. He showed he belonged. They belonged out there yesterday. They didn't lose because of him.
For sure,
absolutely. Brock Purdy didn't lose that game, and so I think between those two, as great as he is, you kind of know what you're gonna get from Mahomes. But for Purdy, he showed, hey, I can hang and I belong here. So I'd say that was my takeaways on the quarterback. What about you, Sauce?
I mean, yeah, just like you said, I mean, people are going to, try to go against the grain and downplay what Brock Purdy did all season. But, I mean, like you said, he showed he belonged. He's going to be, a quarterback, I think, for, a long time, whether you want to call him a game manager or a playmaker. But, I mean, he didn't lose this game at all. He played pretty much like there wasn't a point in the game where I'm like, damn, Brock Purdy's really not making the plays, not making the throws. He was doing everything that it looked like he was supposed to be doing. I would put more emphasis on the play calling and not getting these guys open somehow. Like they had no answer, not one receiver over 50 yards. It was just McCaffrey, and then the time where you need to go back to McCaffrey, they just got away from it. But I mean, at the end of the day, like we say, Mahomes is gonna do what he does no matter what. Kind of knew Mahomes gets a little reckless with the ball, so an interception was, he kind of always throws one, but I mean, he just don't blink. He just goes out there and just goes back to short-term memory, and he goes back to who he is. So, like you said, I think it was just the perfect Super Bowl. Can't complain, but yeah.
It kind of goes back to show what we've been talking about in the previous shows. Kittle was just nowhere to be found, right? Not an answer for anything. But Travis Kelce in that first half, he was silent. Nothing going for him at first, but then you start to find out, these guys have just been here so many times that wasn't even a concern to them. They come out in the second half. I mean, Travis Kelce absolutely killed the Niners that second half. He was getting every catch he wanted, every first down. And it just goes to show, you still stay calm in those moments, even when you start out slow. I mean, they knew what they were going to do with the game. They weren't worried at all going into halftime, even being down.
That's right. I think I'll disagree a little bit with that. Just to say, I think they were a little tight. You had Snead slapping the guy in the helmet. You had Kelce yelling at Andy's face. They were spun pretty tight. I'm not going to be like, hey, they were just kind of cool connected.
No,
in the first half, because I think they're like, holy. And then the good part for the Chiefs is Super Bowl. Usher, they had a good 40 minutes for Andy and his team to do these adjustments, and it was smoke after that. Okay, you shut Kelce down the first half. What are they doing? Hey, guys, how we switching it? How we getting them open? And then it was over. But I think in that first half, they were a little tight. They were kind of like, man, we're getting punched in the mouth.
No, for sure.
And we got to figure this out a little bit. The only one that is Mahomes.
Yeah, once Kelce bumped Big Red, I was like, uh-oh. Like that's not always a good sign, but I mean, apparently it worked because they started throwing to him. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And there was people saying like, "Oh, like Kelce shouldn't go back in the game. He needs to be benched." I'm like, come on, like this is the Super Bowl. You put emotions to the side until after the game and punishments to the side after the game. You ain't benching freaking one of the greatest tight ends ever. And obviously, like without he's the one. He was a big factor in bringing him back. So.
No, dude
Darius
was fired.
Toney gets benched. Kelce doesn't.
Yeah, Kelce don't get benched.
I mean, it was at that moment, Kelce's really just fired up. He knows they're off to a slow start. He wasn't getting any tweets right. He's letting them know, hey, I'm still your guy. Like, I'm still your guy out here. We got to get this thing rolling and do what we've been doing to get us to this point. He's just fired up in that moment and whatnot. He didn't mean anything by it. Right?
It's not like
he wasn't trying to go at Coach Reed or anything. He's just fired up. He's a player.
Man, if he would have knocked him down, oh my goodness.
That would have been.
It didn't even look like he bumped him that hard. It did look like he was kind of off balance. Like he just didn't even see him coming. But if you played attention like all season, that's like the second time that Kelce has gotten to Andy Reid's face, and then Andy Reid got into his face twice throughout the year too, and he pushed him. So, I mean, I don't know if that's their relationship, but if you remember, earlier later in the regular season, Andy Reid went up to him and bumped him too and hobbled him out of nowhere. So I don't know if that's what they do or if they're on the same page, but
they're just they're fired up. I mean, emotions are high.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
But our boy MVS got a touchdown. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was MVS with a touchdown.
I live bet MVS at halftime over 5.5 yards, so I was pumped for that one.
Oh, good deal.
I was like, he's going to catch one ball. I don't know when it's going to be, but he can catch a 5-6
teams
yard
through.
pass.
We had a good night. Had a good night, good game.
Great, yeah. I mean, that's what you want.
Shanahan's playing checkers. Andy Reid was playing chess.
100%. Yeah, just totally.
And if I want to throw,
coached.
If I want to throw one thing in, E, remember when you said at the beginning of the game, Brock Purdy ended up taking a knee and lost 1 yard to go under his prop for the total yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But what I had was the longest rush, so that was already chalk.
That was a good pick. Yeah, that was the one.
Winner.
I was thinking the other way.
And that's honestly
sure did.
And I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to make it sound like, like, oh, I was smart about it, but that was literally the reason why I didn't pick the total yards. I was like, if he ends at 13, 14 yards and then there's 2 knees, I'm going to stay away from that. So then I picked the longest rush and it ended up hitting, so it was good.
Yeah. Absolutely, fellas. Yeah, Chiefs now with their 3rd Super Bowl win with Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. They get into now that dynasty category, right? And kind of what we were saying earlier, this was still their down year. They're going to be a lot better next year and for years to come. I mean, these guys are ready to go, right? They now have the culture over there. They know what's expected over there. They got the coach, the quarterback, and whatnot. So, I mean, these guys are going to be scary for years to come. We're kind of seeing how that's going to go. It's scary there in that AFC conference for sure. I mean, that's huge over there.
It sucks to be a Bronco fan. It sucks to be a Bronco fan.
Bronco, Charger, Raider.
As a Jets fan, I went through this with New England. Yeah, it sucks when there's a gatekeeper like that in your division.
Right. But all in all, right, shout out to the KC Chiefs doing the thing. It's all Super Bowl is awesome in Las Vegas. Kind of outside of the game itself, what did you guys think of that? The whole Las Vegas atmosphere and everything. Halftime show, the performers before. What did we think of Reba before doing all that stuff? I thought everything was cool. I thought the game was awesome. I truly enjoyed the halftime show.
Yeah,
I thought it was really cool. A great performance. It was one of those things where it's like Usher just has a catalog, right? He had so many hits throughout the years and everything. I thought all the people he brought out, Ludacris, Lil Jon, Alicia Keys, and more, right? I thought it was cool. Some halftime shows of late were, tend to be kind of lame. The production's good, but this one I thought was really great. I thought it was one to remember for sure. What did you guys think about everything?
Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas is like a perfect spot for
that was
the
beautiful.
people that were out in that one. So I think they should. I don't know where it's going to be next year, but it'll be kind of hard to do the same thing that the big cities like Miami,
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah. That'll be cool.
New Orleans. New Orleans, and then the Niners home, and then the Rams.
In LA again?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Damn.
They got that new stadium, so they're gonna push there. You're gonna see a whole bunch of Vegas come up too.
They got SoFi.
Yeah, SoFi Stadium.
I thought it was good. I don't know what the players think. They weren't allowed to gamble. They weren't allowed to do some things. So I don't know what they thought about it. But I thought it was great. Great host. The halftime show was on point. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like Usher. You don't like the music, but I don't know how you couldn't. If you did, I don't know how you couldn't enjoy that setup and what he did. I mean, he showed up and he put out. Hats off to Usher.
Yeah, and he ended up getting married, I guess, after the Super Bowl. Yeah. He ended up getting married. So he's over there grabbing up on Alicia Keys, and then he goes and gets married. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I missed the national anthem, so I don't know what. I heard she said "brave" twice or something. Some sports books took it, some didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's kind of goofy, but I didn't see that part.
I was gonna say I saw this one thing. I wanted to throw this out there, right? So, on certain. By the way, the Gatorade color was purple, so I knew we were off on that one. But some of these like offshore accounts, they do all that stuff. Gatorade color, anthem. But there was a bet this year if there would be a streaker on the field, right? And it turned out there was, right. Someone ran onto the field. I saw something today. This is kind of wild. that the guy who streaked onto the field, he got in his sports book, it said yes or no, will there be a streaker on the field? He put 20 grand on it, and then he ran out onto that field and did it to try to make a little come up for himself. I don't know if you guys saw anything about that. I thought that was hilarious.
I saw
he was just like
said he made
just like, I'm
40K, but I don't know. I don't know if that's him. I think that's like a fake.
Yeah.
Fake post. That's just me. Like if you did that, why would you expose yourself? Just take your 40K and go on. Right? Just take the 40K and run. Why am I exposing myself to possible litigation and other shit? Right?
Right. I just thought that was so hilarious. See, you're telling me right now it's yes or no. Fate of the bet right now is on you. You're at the Super Bowl. E-money. You put 20 grand on yourself to go out there and streak around. You doing it?
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. No,
I would have twisted an ankle falling out the stand just getting on the field. So I'm a little bit old. So not me,
but cool stuff. Yeah, we wrap up the NFL season, guys. Like we said, shout out to the team here at the Bet Championship. I think we absolutely killed it for the playoffs and the NFL as a whole this year for a show. I'm just trying to get you guys those picks each and every weekend for that NFL season, and I think we definitely delivered this year. Some good things coming, and now we're rolling over to the NBA on Saturday. You know, we got a couple more games before this All-Star break, and I just want to see where everyone's at right now. Standings, Eastern Conference. What are we kind of expecting and whatnot? Who we're liking at the moment, and kind of some like title odds right now. Who we think is going to be there with everything going that way. Before we do roll into that, Sach, who we got for tonight's video brought to you by?
Today's video is brought to you by CenturyLink. CenturyLink Wi-Fi. The best Wi-Fi. You can see how clear the boys are, how smooth everything runs. Couldn't do it without them. We just need we need to get a Wi-Fi sponsor. How about that, huh?
Yeah, a little Wi-Fi.
Because these Wi-Fi prices are going through the roof, bro. I'm like, holy shit. But I mean, that's who we're brought to you by today.
100%. Don't let your channels, your Wi-Fi slow you down when the big game is on. Shout out Century. Here we go. But we'll roll now into that NBA again. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. What we're seeing right now with the standings before this All-Star and what kind of expect when we start to get closer to these playoffs.
I mean, for the Eastern Conference, I kind of only see the Celtics being the team to beat right now. I mean, as of right now, the Bucks are struggling. Miami's been struggling. I mean, Minnesota's kind of Minnesota. Minnesota's a team that's going to have to be. They're going to have to prove it first before I have any belief in any of them.
What do you think about those Cavs though? Cavs
are doing good. I just don't think the Cavs have it to like. If you remember last year, the Cavs were supposed to make at least like a first round run, second round run, but they just got smoked the first round. And if you remember last year, what Jarrett Allen said the lights were just too bright. So until that Cavs team can really kind of prove that they can do, I mean, yeah, they're on a roll right now. But I mean, if you look at the history of Donovan Mitchell, his teams have not been good in the playoffs. But yeah, as of right now, the only team that I really trust and I know that they can prove it and go back to a championship is the Celtics. And I really have no trust in anyone else other than them in the Eastern Conference, to be honest.
You're leaving out Knicks too.
Knicks are a team that have to prove it to me as well. I mean, do I think they could, out of all those teams that I just said, out of the the Heat can do it, but I'm not buying into the Heat like that to win it. I can't do it. I mean, last year was just a Cinderella run. I would probably pick the team that can make a run first or second round and possibly third round is the Knicks. I can't be I can't lie about that one. The Knicks are just looking good, especially when they get Randall back. I believe Mitchell Robb's out for the season, right? E?
No, he's going to start. He can.
Oh, wow.
They're hoping to get him back by the end of the season. He can start doing floor drills at the break. So they're hoping They're hoping for the playoffs. You get Robinson back, let's just say best case. If not, Hartenstein's holding it down real well. He's out as well, right? OG's out, Randall's out. So to your point, we haven't proven anything yet, but man, if they can put it together and get some chemistry,
oh yeah, I want to see all.
I'm with you. I think Boston's one. Yeah, Boston will be one, and Knicks will be like one A, one B, however you want to look at it. I think the Heat were just hitting it last year, right? They're just not there. But who knows? That's what they do come playoff time. Almost like the Chiefs. The Bucks just don't. I mean, you get your coach fired. You do like they're having issues, right? So they got to turn it around. The only one that are consistently winning is Boston. And until that changes or somebody shows they can take the mantle, I agree. The Cavs are on a run. They're 9-1, I think. But
second in the East right now.
Yeah, let's see if they can sustain. What can we do? It's season started right at the trade deadline, so now things are hot. It's fun. I'll go out west. I just think right now the Clippers are just. Yeah, the Clippers are a beast. I think Denver can be the two, but they just got to get it together. I don't believe
winded on a lot of
we'll
these
just turn it on. Like we'll turn it on come playoff time. That does like you won one title. You're not going back for your third, and you have this routine down, and that Clipper lineup's loaded. That bench is loaded. If they can stay healthy, they're going to be a problem in the West. But I do think Denver can get there, but they just have to start. They got to start vibing. Some has to start clicking soon. Are they down again today? I know they were down earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee. I think they got smoked today. But, I mean, Jamal Murray, I think he just ended up getting hurt. But, yeah, I think they lost today.
Yeah. So that's I don't know how you see the West, Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the Clippers. The Clippers just look good. I would put the Clippers 1 right now, and then I'd put the Nuggets 2nd. I don't believe at all in like the Thunder. I mean, they're doing good in the regular season, but we know a lot of these teams come playoff time, it's different. None of them have really been there. Super young team, like we just said, but I would just stick with freaking the Clippers and the Nuggets. I don't believe in the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, even the Suns. I just think the Suns are just
Suns are kind of.
I can't buy into the Suns, man. They just
haven't figured it out over there. Yeah,
they just have no rhythm. Like every time you watch a game, one of the big three goes off, and that's not going to hold up in the playoffs when you're just like, oh, whose night is it tonight?
Yeah,
it needs to be Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal needs to be the guy that's going to score about 15 to 20 a night. Just keep it at that. But you need Durant to pick it up as well. Durant has been up and down this season big time. He went like 5 games in a row scoring under 20 or something like that. Like what? You can't do that. Like, you can't win. If Kevin Durant, if he's one of the best scorers ever, he needs to be getting up shots. And I watch him sometimes in these games, and he's shooting 2 shots in the first quarter, playing 12 minutes.
And the first quarter starts so slow, and it's almost like they're using him as like the second option over there, which is insane to me. KD is one of your best offensive weapons in this league. How did we not utilize this guy more? How are we not getting more production out of him? That's the one thing I see over there in Phoenix that I just really don't understand how they haven't figured that stuff out. Because, I mean, on paper, you look at that team, that team should be a hell of a lot better than what they are right now. And then to what the E said about the Nuggets and everything over in the Western Conference. Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of rocky right now. I know these backups have just been you could tell with the Nuggets because it's really just their starting 5. The bench over there does lack in Denver. So when playing a lot of these back-to-backs, you can just tell these guys are just winded. They're just playing so dang much right now. I'll tell you what, though, the Thunder, right, like to what Sach said, necessarily not really worried about them this season, but, I mean, those guys are going to be some problems in the next couple of years. Like we kind of discussed, they're just a really young team over there in OKC. They got a lot of draft picks, I think, coming up in this next draft, like top-tier draft picks. So definitely watch out for the Thunder in these next coming years. They're going to be a problem over there in that Western Conference. But still a team right now just developing, right? And
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beauty in itself over there. That's going to be a great franchise to watch in these next coming years. And then
Out of
go ahead, E.
go ahead, Z. Sorry, I was going
And
to say
then
out of
just
all the leagues, right? Oh, go ahead, E. Out of all the leagues, I was just going to say, and I don't follow NHL too close, but none of them really are layered like the NBA. The Thunder will have a future, but you don't see these young teams. With the veterans are the ones that show up playoff time, and the young guys will tell you that, man, there was a different level. We got into the playoffs, and it's a different thing. They're a great team or they're not a great team, but they'll be there in the future.
Yeah.
They're going to grow.
They're
You know, a
younger
lot of
now.
and that's what's kind of cool watching it now. The nucleus of the next generation of these teams, if they can keep signing and keep people together. And you kind of seeing the Lakers drop off, these other teams that traditionally will be there. So, I just think when it comes down to the end, you're going to look at Clippers and Denver. They're going to be battling it out there if all things stay healthy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though too. Don't sleep on the Timberwolves either. I mean, those guys. They going back to last year. I mean, those guys gave the Nuggets a run for their money. Let's not forget that. Obviously, the Nuggets went off to win the championship, but those guys were very competitive in that playoff series there. I think that was one of the most competitive games the Nets saw, especially early. It's going to be interesting to see this game tonight, right? You got Clippers and Timberwolves tonight, so that's a nice little battle there. But don't sleep on those guys. Those guys are kind of developing things over there too. Those guys,
Well, you're right.
not as young as
last year.
Right. Yeah, not as young as the Thunder, but that is another franchise, another team over there that is starting to develop into something special. So problems for those. And then real quick, looks like right now you kind of have the Warriors and Lakers battling it for that play-in game right now at the moment. I just wanted to throw this out there because I want to see your guys' take with Golden State and the LA right now. Out of the mix, but trying to get a battle for the play-in game as of now. Kind of want to get Stotch's take on what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors, they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. No really major shifters. I mean, the Warriors, they're kind of cooked. Like, they're not going to make any noise when it comes playoff time. They're going to be either 8th seed, 7th seed if they pick it up, but they'll be a play-in team in the play-in tournament. I think they'll sneak in, but in terms of do I think they're going to be a team like Minnesota or the Clippers or the Nuggets? No shot. So I think I'm already kind of looking forward to next season. I just think this is a year where maybe you see Steve Kerr. He's playing a lot of these young guys right now. We got Brandon Podziemski, Lester Quinones, Trace Jackson Davis. You got Gui Santos. You got a lot of these guys that are playing heavy minutes right now, and it's not random that he's doing that. He's kind of looking forward to see what guys we can keep for next year because I think the season's honestly just chalk. Like I said, we'll make the playoffs, maybe win a game or two, but in the grand scheme of things, I think the Warriors are just pretty much done. Kind of just go on to next season, see what moves you can make, and then as far as the Lakers, I think the Lakers are honestly cooked too. I mean, if they sneak in, I don't think they're going to beat any of the top 3 teams at all either. Besides, I think if the Lakers can go up against the Timberwolves, that's where maybe I can see it giving – because it's a game of matchups. It's not, what team's better. Like last year when the Lakers went and played the Grizzlies as a 2 seed, Grizzlies were the better team all year long. But when it comes down to the playoffs and you got these certain matchups, the Grizzlies did not want to see the Lakers, and that's why I honestly picked the Lakers winning the series before it even started. Because it's just a bad matchup in the Grizzlies overall. So I think a lot of these teams are just going to have to – and you saw the Lakers last year too. They were trying to sneak into that 7th seed to go up against them. They were resting guys when they needed to lose. They didn't want to win. Everyone saw it. Even the people on ESPN were like, they're losing. They're trying to get the Grizzlies as a matchup. So I think it'll just be something like that again. But, I mean, in the grand – Lakers and Warriors are kind of just chalk this year, in my opinion. So that's what I got on that.
So you got 2 Warriors, right? But they're old. You got 2 old Warriors out there. I think whoever gets the Warriors, whether it's the play-in or that first round, they're gonna get a match. But to Sasha's point, they're not the top tier anymore. They're gonna fight you. They're gonna get. I think the Warriors just won again tonight, 4 in a row. It's not gonna be easy cake with them. I think the Lakers might be an easier win than the Warriors, but they're not. Yeah, they got to feel that these young guys play, run, get some experience. Is kind of cool, right? It's the next generation. That's what we have to do, fill in the gaps, and that's what they're doing. So, yeah, really interesting. And then, we go back out east. It's the same thing, just the vets. I would like to throw in that the New York Knicks do have 9 first-round picks, so we're just kind of, we're just holding on for that next big trade. Yeah. They didn't give up one first-round pick the whole trade, this past trade season. They gave up second rounds, but no first rounds. They're sitting on 9 picks. So they're another team that can get better. Go out there, get some experience, see what we can do, and then run. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great to see where we're getting to. A lot of good games. So
who's the next GM?
That Leon Rose.
How long has he been with them?
He's been with us, I think, 5 years. The last time he spoke to the media was 3 years ago.
Holy
just like he's put stuff together. He just cleans house, puts stuff together, does his stuff. He looks just like he could look. He could pass for Thibodeau's brother, but he just does his stuff. He's well connected within the league and stuff. When he came in to clean it up. So
good. I was going to say he's doing a damn good job so far.
We'll see what gets shaken up here in these next couple of weeks. Again, we're kind of about to head into this All-Star break. Quick question for the fellas. Does All-Star weekend for the NBA really excite you guys at all? Anything you guys tune into when it comes to that? Do you watch the main game? Do you watch any of the attractions before the main game? Any of that celebrity BS or anything, those games? Anything in that All-Star break that catches your guys' eye? Just wanted to kind of throw that out there.
I mean, if you're looking forward to the All-Star break in terms of competitiveness and good basketball, no, it's not for you. The dunk contest over the past years have been a joke. I mean, you had Ease guy last year, Jericho Sims, one of the bounciest dudes I've ever seen, and he went out there and just completely – I don't know what the hell he did. I mean, with his little paper thing last year, that was a joke. But, I mean, none of these guys in the dunk contest, like we got Jaime Jaquez Jr. from the Miami Heat in the dunk contest. What is he going to do? I mean, but the best thing that I always tune into, and the one thing that I like to watch is just the 3-point contest. I'll watch all the other stuff, but in terms of do I want to watch it and does it like excite me? No. I think Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu might be the most popular thing to see who wins that 3-point contest, since she actually has the 3-point contest record at the moment. But other than that, no, I'm gonna just enjoy it and kind of take a break from betting. That's always good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The All-Star weekend don't excite me. It's pretty much all like the celebrities that are there and like the celebrity All-Star game and some dunks. So that's pretty much all I got. It's kind of just really bland.
Yeah, I follow in pace. I'll be the grumpy old man that remembers when it was nice. It's all watered down. Back in the day, Dominique couldn't wait to go against Jordan in the dunk contest. Bird, everybody was doing their stuff. Larry Bird's out doing 3. Now you look at the dunk contest, you're like, who's in it? Nobody wants to do it. They make a dunk. Everybody acts like they never seen them before. They act like a fool, run up and down the sidelines, and you're just like, oh, this is so ridiculous. And then you get to the game, and that was the same thing again. I'll be the salty old guy. But East and West used to mean something. Like you couldn't wait for those guys. They went at it. Now there's no defense at all. Like, hey, half court shots, do what you want. Like it's not a game. It's not even an exhibition really. Nobody does anything. It's going to be 200 and something to 200 and something. It is what it is. I'm not trying to be that, but for me, it's a good weekend just to chill with the family and like Sasha saying, reground, reorganize, and get ready. get ready for the next week of games again. But know what you used to have when it was, pride out there. Hey, I'm gonna defend my dunk contest. You bring your best, I'll bring mine. Let's play the game. Let's go. Magic had his boys. Jordan's got his guys. Bird and all them, and we run it.
Yep.
Now I don't know what's going on, And then we did the phase where we picked teams. I don't know what that was about because it almost seemed like Giannis didn't play in the league. The teams he was picking, you're like, how the hell does LeBron get Luka, Durant? And it's fair. They're picking back and forth. You're like,
Yeah.
Who's doing this stuff? So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's all right, but again, the 3-point contest, I think, because it's a talent, is always kind of cool to see. But let's get the best out there, right?
Yeah, I think they need to go back to doing the dunk contest with no NBA players. I think they did it like 1 year, not officially, but they did it with world-class dunkers, like people that aren't even in the NBA. They're just professional dunkers. I think that's way more entertaining. I know they still do it, but it's not at All-Star Weekend. But the dunk contest with dudes that don't even play in the NBA and they're just pro dunkers, those are some of the best things to watch. I love watching that. Like with Jordan Kilganon, the white guy who freaking dunks out of the gym. I think they should do something like that because I think the NBA is just.
Who's the guy that won it last year? He's like from the G League.
Mac McClung.
Matt McClung. Yeah. And he's in it this year again. See, but
good.
That's one of those shout out. Yeah, totally. Shout out to him, right? Because he definitely did his thing last year. But again, to E's point, but no one's in the dunk contest, right? So that they kind of had to go out and get him just to kind of get a little excitement. But you got no stars doing it. Jaylen Brown is in the contest here, so shout out to him because, right, he is a dude with balance and everything, all-star caliber dude and whatnot. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. That'll be interesting to see what he does for his dunk contest. But yeah, just no excitement. Man, it's like. To what he was saying, man, I used to go on YouTube all the time, just looking up all the old all-star dunk contests and whatnot, and seeing what they were doing back then. Yeah. It's just crazy. Looked fun, entertaining. I hope sooner than later the NBA looks into this and just how can we fix this? Because what I love what the NBA did this year is that 65-game rule, but they need to do something with this all-star weekend too, because it is just not entertaining anymore.
Yep.
And this could be off, but I just looked on Stat News here, right? Let's just look at the top 5 3-pointers, right? Curry is by far leading the pack. Then you got Luka, Trae Young, DiVincenzo out the Knicks, and Bogey from the Knicks. None of those guys are in a 3-point contest. Now imagine if those 5 were in it. You'd watch, right? You'd say, man, let me see these guys do their shit. But they sit on the sidelines. They're not in it. It's these scrubs that come out there, and you're just like, all right, this sucks. That's what I mean. They have. If you're not going to have your guys there, it doesn't bring it in, right? Let's see who's got it. Who's the best?
It's almost like it's the new narrative for these all-stars. When all-star weekend comes up, it's like it's cool to not do any of the stuff and it's being your best outfit on the sideline. That's what you do now. That's the narrative. All-Star break is where you get dressed up and you just hang out with all this NBA stuff going on. But it's lame. I mean, it's not entertaining to the viewer. It's probably very entertaining to the younger generation and everything, all the stuff they're doing and everything. But that middle older generation, it is just not exciting to watch at all. Like the last game, the All-Star game. I mean, make it competitive. You got all these dogs out there who are supposed to be grinding, for fighting or not. But yeah, I mean, they're just throwing up oops, lobs, bouncing it off the floor, right up in the air. No one's getting. It's just why do I want to watch that? I don't want to watch that.
I
think maybe UFC's got to fight that weekend. We'll see what's going on. There'll be something else. Golf. Yeah. We got something.
Oh, there we go. And I got a golf tournament coming up now, golf season. I got to bounce back for E.
It's all right. That's all right. We're this is so early. We're good. We're gonna get. I mean, we've been focused on football for so long now. It's time to spread the net and
we can break out.
Bring you guys some other stuff, PGA and other things. Yeah, that's
for sure.
All good.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to all the viewers and listeners tuning in to the Bet Champ Show after hours, guys. Again, we just like to give all sports talk you want. Any picks you guys are looking at, we are here. We do all the hard work for you guys. That's what me and the fellas love to do. Again, let us know in the comments section. Let us know what you guys want to see from the show in general. What kind of picks you guys are looking at. Any new sports you would like us to cover. We will definitely get that rocking your way. But huge shout out to the crew here again for the NFL season. I just can't say that enough. For the year, I think we killed it, right? But that's the bar, right? That's what we should be doing each and every day, each and every week and whatnot. We'll continue that now, rolling over to the NBA. No Whit tonight again, dude.
On assignment.
So let Whit have it in the comment section. We'll put we need to put the bat signal out or something.
Where's Whit?
Where's Whit Wednesday? I don't know.
He's on assignment more than Geraldo Rivera. This guy, man. He brings in the good information though. He brings it back. So yeah, he's our investigative reporter. You guys out there, if you need Whit to research anything in the sports gambling world, let us know. We'll get him on it. And
for real.
Hope you're safe out there, Whit, undercover.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want Whit to get you any research, you got to let us know because we'll sell it. We'll send a telegram or a pigeon out to him or something, whatever island he's staying at the moment. But we're about to wrap it up, guys, in the show. Thank you again for all the viewers and listeners out there. Be sure to tune into all the socials again. We're giving out free plays every day. You can tune into me and Sach every Monday through Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We give you those early odd NBA player top props, as well as that Monday and Thursday after-hour show with myself, Whit, Sach. We talk all things sports, what we're seeing right now, and some plays we're looking at. And then tune in this Saturday. That is our parlay show. We're going to be on at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to each of us are going to throw out our best picks for that weekend and get our little parlay going. And we're definitely going to crush those. So just stay tuned. More things to come from us and everything. But let us know what else you guys want to see. As always, we're here to cater to your guys' needs. We want to get you all sports information as you see it. But I'll do it for tonight's episode. Just go around the room real quick. How are we feeling, guys? What are you most excited for now going forward now that the NFL's over with?
I'm pretty much just excited for NBA after this All-Star break. You see a lot of these dudes tonight. Just a betting tip, probably don't have as much volume as you typically want, and don't be afraid to play unders because they got a couple games left, a couple days left before the All-Star break. A lot of people are checked out. So, I'll definitely be very particular with the plays that we got for the next couple of days. But no, it was a great NFL season. I already want it to be next year, and let's just finish off strong with some NBA after this All-Star break for sure. Start really diving more deep into it.
Yeah, so yesterday ended the 2024 NFL season. Mark your calendars, and next time, 13 March. 13 March opens the new season, and it also opens up free agency. So a couple heavy hitters out there: Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Kirk Cousins, Jones there's a lot of free agents. So that'll be the next time we start talking again, as these guys start signing. We can start looking at really what's going to be on these teams next year. And then this weekend, Genesis Invitational. Sauce is the guy. PJ is back, but the big one is T-Dub. T. Woods is back. It's his first tournament this year.
That's his tournament.
I didn't notice. I just found this out. Yeah, he left Nike. He's left Nike, so the T-Dub brand is over. He signed with a TaylorMade, and he has a new brand now, Sunday Red. So Sunday is 2 words, but he wears that red. It's a pretty cool looking tiger. Looks like the stripes almost skeleton.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but he's got a new brand, new look. Sunday Red is his new brand. So shout out to T. Woods. I always like to see him do well. I don't think we'll play him, but I'll wait to see what Sauce styles up on that. Have a great week. It was a great NFL season, but for gamblers, it's just a game. If you won $500 yesterday, or you win $500 in the NBA today, you won $500. That other one's not more valuable. So that's behind us. We move forward. Good deal. Good luck, everybody. Be safe.
Absolutely. Thank you to all the viewers, listeners. Again, we'll see you guys Thursday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can catch us again. But that'll do it for tonight's show. Peace out. We'll see you later.
Peace, gents.
Oh.